Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back for some more Dominion 6. We're continuing our progression through basically every nation available to this game. Except there's really an infinite number of nations because there's a randomizer. But anyways, last time we did M.A. Man, Tower of Avalon. And they got some pretty good sacred cavalry there. I don't know if you know. And it wasn't that tough of a game against M.A. Ermor. Let's roll up another one. 10. Okay. That would be M.A. Maragnon, but that would just... It's a little too close to M.A. Man, so we'll skip that. We'll save that for later. 41. M.A. Terra Nova. New Land Commonwealth. That's a mouthful, isn't it? I believe this is Enraged Eggplant. Yep, it is. Alright. Then we will put on the usual goodies. We'll turn off Divinitus, Dominions Enhanced. Turn this on. I wish I had mod sets that I could turn on. What the hell did I just call? Terra Nova. There it is. Okay. We're good then. Yeah, you already know we want to do another 1v1. I think it's a really good way to test the nation in a relatively fair balance. And it's always like a good length. Like, it's kind of impossible for this to go on too long. We either give up or we win. Terra Nova. After the Night of Shooting Stars turned the halfling homeland of Eofol into a devil-infested wasteland, the remaining halfling and human survivors banded together. With the help of the renegade Bracadian mage Frederick and his experiments with the technology of the ancients, they managed to leave Eofol behind and cross the ocean, settling anew in Jadain. The abundance of earth oil and knowledge of arcane mechanisms let the refugees establish a collection of city-states protected by gun-wielding mercenaries and clockwork automata. This so-called New Land Commonwealth is colloquially known as Terra Nova, named after an old world settled by the ancients. Yeah, we have another gun nation. Let's see how balanced it is. We have halflings and humans, halfling slingers, human gunners, beasts, and sacred serpents. Earth, fire, astral magic with some glamour, water, air, and nature. Moderate priests, productivity limit +1. Standard forts, techsmiths can build better forts. Labs cost 400 in wastes only, which is useless for us. And forts produce 5% more resources. Alright. Thief, stealth 60, wasteland survival. Simple. Mercenary, 70 leadership, wasteland survival. Mercenary captain, 100 leadership. Mechanic, fire 1, earth 1, fire resist 3, unhindered researcher. With a flamethrower, which is a melee weapon. Okay. That's an interesting way to do it. Halfling Soothsayer. Nature 1, Holy 1, 20% chance for Astral or Nature, with Beastmaster +1. Alright. Artificer. 1 Earth, 1 Astral, unhindered researcher, resource bonus 3. This is looking like a decent contender. Allows us to take full drain, and we get giant earth communions, which is massive blade winds. Halfling Navigator, air 1, water 1, astral 1, air, water, astral. 13 research for 210 bucks is pretty solid. They also have full max sailing, but that's not useful to us. This is also a decent contender, though. We can't take full drain with this. I mean, you could, I guess. It would still be like 11 research for 210 gold, which is not atrocious. But I don't know. We'll see. Techsmith. 2 earth, and then 2 fire or 2 astral. Fire resist 3, unhindered researcher, master smith 1, resource bonus 5, and mason. Well, it's 13 research. We can take full drain, no problem. 13 research for 260 is fine. It's not really bad at all. And they'll all be 2 earth. And we'll have some fire in there. We'll have some astral in there. There's options. 2 earth is a nice gold standard. And lastly, Technomancer. Cap only. 460 gold, 4 recruitment points. 3 earth, 1 astral, 1 glamour, 2 holy. Astral glamour, 10% for fire, astral death, glamour. Just based on that, they'll all be 3 earth, 2 astral, or 2 glamour. Okay. Level 2 priests. They are old, however, and you know my stance on old people. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea down the line to get 1 to have 3 earth, but he's got no chance of getting higher than 3 earth, so it's not that essential for us. And then it would be 230 gold for 8.5 research, which is just pitiful, so no. Units. We've got the halfling. Dirt, cheap, stealth 50 with a sling and a dagger. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad because we would have access pretty reliably to fire mages for flaming arrows and stuff. So maybe. Soldier of Fortune. He's got 10 protection, 14 defense with a shield, 10 MR, 11 morale, 10 speed, 12 attack on the broadsword for 16 slashing damage. Yeah, it's a solid, dependable medium infantry. Okay. Halfling Grenadier. Aha, well, never mind. These guys get fire slings. You don't even need a buff. So 30 range, 8 precision, 8 piercing, plus 8 armor piercing fire. Nice. But we have gunners, remember. Quattle, cap only. 22 hit points, size 4, 7 protection, 6 defense, 14 MR, 14 morale, poison resist, cold-blooded, meh. Animal, but not undisciplined. With poison spit, range 10, 12 armor piercing poison, and venomous fangs, 10 plus strong poison. Yeah, meh. Meh is what I would say. Gunslinger. Look at that. Look at that gunslinger. 10 hit points, 8 protection, 11 defense, 10 MR, 12 morale. They have a short sword and a revolver, range 16. 12 precision, 13 armor piercing. They can fire it every round, but they only have 6 shots, because it's a revolver. That's pretty painful. And given enough of them, they would absolutely decimate a front line, but they are pretty vulnerable to archers. And they're not going to instantly delete an enemy army because it's only 16 range. So, honestly, it's relatively balanced, all things considered. Bounty Hunter, though. A little bit better here. Same stats across the board, short sword, but they get upgraded to a rifle. Range 22, 13 precision, 17 armor piercing, and 8 shots. Still pretty short range, but it's better. It's better. Tricky thing is, like, it's kind of difficult to, it's difficult to avoid this on our own units, you know? Like, it's just straight up 17 armor piercing. That's pretty hefty. So you could just make bounty hunters. The nicer thing, I guess, if you used gunslingers is that with only 6 shots, you could have, well, I don't know, 16 range is just rough. Unless you're going to have air mages to give them the far shot buff or whatever it is. Hard to say. Sentinel Automaton. 14 hit points, 12 protection, 11 defense, 10 MR, 50 morale. 4 amphibian, susceptible to shock 3, fire resist 15, cold 15, poison 25. Flying. Troll bonus, blind, fire explosion on death, and they have a drill. 12 attack, 16 piercing. They're not bad. I mean, 12 protection, 14 hit points on a flying unit is fairly solid. They do heal, thankfully. They don't have never heal on. That's nice. They got some pretty good resistances except for shock. They have the fire explosion, which they are protected from themselves. That's pretty nice. And then the drill is not a bad weapon. 12 attack, 16 piercing is pretty solid. So honestly, not bad. Automaton. 38 hit points. Size 5. 16 protection. 10 defense. 10 MR. 50 morale. 16 speed. Same resist. Poor amphibian. All that. Blind. Fire explosion on death. They have a pincer attack. 0 length. 12 attack, 18 damage, not armor piercing. Completely untyped damage. The hit point total is great. The protection's pretty great. But this aspect is a little weak. So they're really more like Pludge. They're line holders. They're pretty good at it. Especially with all their resists and stuff. Like, we'll be able to rain down, like, fire damage and stuff on them, and they won't give a shit. But against, like, the rifle fire, they're gonna fold a little bit. They'll have their hit point totals, but 16 protection is not enough when talking about 17 armor piercing, which will do, oh gosh, like 10 damage on average or something. That's a little hefty. Winged Serpent, cap only sacred. 22 hit points, size 4, 7 protection, 6 defense, 14 MR, 14 morale. Poison resist, cold-blooded, flying. With venomous fangs, 14 attack, 10 piercing, strong poison. Okay, so we have sacred flyers. Their weak spots are definitely their protection values, their defense values, and their damage. That's a lot of weak points. They're not good offensively or defensively. They're really just like harassment. But they can't live long enough to harass, so it's tricky. They are pretty cheap for sacreds. You know, it's 1 resource, 21 gold. So what would be the most obnoxious thing for them to be then in the rear? I mean, there is a world, obviously, where you can keep them kind of protected. A little bit. Like, regen Blood Bond would help quite a bit. Because theoretically, you could have enough of them, and Blood Bond would help quite a lot. Also, like, Hard Skin would be good, or Fortitude would be good, but that gets pretty pricey then. You're talking about multiple big buffs. Otherwise, if you just want something quick and annoying, honestly, just like a Fear Aura on the back line is pretty strong. Or Dread, obviously, or like a Heat Aura that can do some wonders in the back line, or I don't know, Unbearable Splendor or something. Or you could do Blood Vengeance. We've never done that. You're sort of assuming that they're gonna die, but maybe regen Blood Bond, Blood Vengeance if we just go big nature blood. Pricey. Not an amazing sacred in my opinion, but okay. Armadillo, non-fort wastes. I don't think we're even gonna even have access to these guys. But they have 23 hit points, 14 protection, 8 defense, 7 MR, undisciplined, 10 attacks on bite and claw. Yeah. Bellwether Armadillo, non-fort wastes. 23 hit points, 15 protection, with Berserker +3, so 18 protection. 7 MR only. Undisciplined. They'll have 13 attack for 20 damage and 18 damage. Pretty nasty little dudes. Okay. Conjuration. We get sandworms. A voracious beast capable of swallowing entire squads of troops whole. You get one of them for 11 earth gems. I'm curious. Olgoi Korkoi. A mutated sandworm with poisonous skin and appetite for corpses for 11 death gems. Alteration. Create Agar's monsters. Avian monsters with paralyzing talons. You get 3 of them for 4 nature gems. Agar's Abomination. Avian monstrosity that can breathe petrifying gas. 4 nature gems. Fun stuff. Evocation, we got nothing. Construction, Mechanical Dreadnought. A powerful construct with a heat beam attack. One of them for 9 earth gems. Fun. I don't think we'll waste too much time looking through here. There's almost never anything in it. Enchantment. Nothing. Thaumaturgy. Nothing. Blood magic. Nothing. Divine. Nothing. Okay. So, options. Well, we get Olgoi Korkoi Matriarch. A giant sandworm. Yeah, there's something missing here, I'll tell you that. Well, okay, so it's got 170 hit points, size 10 with 16 natural protection, 18 MR, 30 morale, standard stuff. It starts with Earth 1, Death 1. Fear 10 is pretty nice. Fire resist 5, poison 25, 15. Decay immunity. Cold-blooded, which is pretty annoying, but okay. Recuperation is nice for free. Blind. Poisonous skin 40. That's pretty intense. Jesus. Let me double check exactly what that means. I feel like I've Googled this before. I looked it up on the wiki. Poison causes the victim to take that amount of debilitating poison damage. Large beings are less affected. So, but so it's debilitating, which means it's stunned. Yeah, stiffen and eventually become immobile. Ha. Interesting. Okay. And then Corpse Eater 25. So it eat up to 25 corpses a month. So up to 25 extra hit points per turn. And it can go to a max of plus 80. Okay. Not bad. And then it has a Swallow attack. 14 attack, 23 damage, or special. AoE 1. It's honestly not bad, I think. 16 natural protection with Earth already on this means that you can get up to... well, I don't know, 24 or something pretty easily. And you have death on it by default. It's not bad. Mega Dragon? Mega Dragon, what the fuck? Yeah, again, he has a tendency to put a head slot instead of a crown slot on his unique dragons and stuff. 140 hit points, 18 natural protection is pretty nice. 19 MR base, Fire 1, Nature 1, Fear 10, Flying, Dragon Master 1. Got the Bite, Claw, Tail Sweep, and Dragon Fire. Pretty standard dragon, if you just compare it to like this, except it can't shapeshift. Which means that it gets the full value of its paths in dragon form, which is kind of nice. Crimson Quattle. This one he did put the crown slot on, so I don't know. He knows it exists, I don't know. 110 hit points, size 10, 21 protection base. No, I'm sorry. What the fuck? Okay, so he's got 7 natural, 21 protection because he's wearing bronze barding. But he doesn't have a barding or body I don't know, okay. Comes with 1d6 young quaddles. He's got air 1, nature 1, sun awe 3, blah blah blah, recuperation, blah blah blah. Not very good, I would say. And that looks like all the unique options. If we wanted big nature blood, we don't have many options. The Wooden Colossus does have Earth Nature Blood, and it's a mobile innate spellcaster with full gear slots and 10 natural protection. It's probably the smartest option, but I'll be damned if I'm not tempted by this this matriarch and that 40 poison skin. But we have to take blood if we want Blood Vengeance and Blood Bond and all that. And Blood Vengeance would be really awesome on this guy, but yeah, we'll never get that much blood. So let's look at the Wooden Colossus. Let's say dormant. Let's not worry about scales at the moment and just try to get our Bless online. Blood Vengeance is the most expensive, it's 7. And then Regen is the most expensive at like 7. So, yeah, it's going to be tricky. If we wanted to get Blood Bond on top of that, that's a pricey Bless, my friends. Yeah, I think that's not going to happen. So, instead of Regen, could just take that and assume that you're going to die. I don't know. Is that good? Honestly, I could probably skip the Sacreds entirely. We didn't really figure out what we were going to go with. But I was thinking maybe... Like, honestly, the Halfling Grenadiers with the Fire Slings and the Automatons is probably a solid combo. These things will almost never be hurt by our own Slingers with 15 fire resist. They're really good line holders, and the Grenadiers are just going to rain death. Yeah, they only have 8 precision. It's not great, but it's a pretty good combo. So for scales, yeah, I mean, probably 1 and 1 would be nice. But I think we could take the Matriarch. Literally just getting something like that and not giving a shit, and maybe even taking a wake then. Oh, we could take, since we're probably going to take Tech Smiths, we could go full drain. If I wanted to pick up a, well, yeah, I mean, we could take another path. It's expensive. What would I pick? Could take air for mist form, could take astral for body ethereal, could take, I don't know, we don't have... Yeah, I would say those are probably the strong contenders. But, well, no, we're not a trampler. So body ethereal is pretty good. I mean, you should never take fucking 1 astral. But I guess we could do that. Or we could do that. I mean, fuck, you could probably do that. Okay. That seems reasonable enough. So then our bless is mostly just for him in our own dominion. In which case, probably magic resistance, really. Or reinvigoration. It's not really super necessary. Yeah, magic resistance is pretty nice. Sure. Alright, that's it. Yeah, 4 Dominion is pretty low. Because it's not just about sacreds. That's also our ability to battle his Dominion. So we're going to suffer there. You could maybe go down here and go up to 6. It's probably better. Or we could take Misfortune 1, which is usually what we do anyways. Let's go with that. Igalima. $15 research out of this guy. Alright. So let's go with some automatons and some grenadiers and techsmith, which costs a bunch of resources because of course it does. There you go. For research, yeah, we're pretty much going straight down alteration. Nice. Of course you can't. Of course you can't. Alteration 1's not very good, but I think he's honestly probably powerful enough to just go for it. So let's try hitting it. We'll throw Skeletal Body on and attack closest. Yeah. Let's see. Our 2 battles here. First, the Sandworm. Alright, he took some damage. But, you know, not too bad for having no buffs. Yeah, Halfling Grenadier is pretty good. Yeesh. They'll get there, don't worry. Yeah, our research is pretty rough at the moment. Are you all old already? Fuck old people forever! It does that sometimes, you know. Yeah, not a big surprise. There was a lot of crossbowmen. Shame. It's alright. It's alright. poison skin is working, right? It's just, I don't know how it works. Oh, great. We're going up against Nazca. Well, they have a lot of cold resist. We're not using cold in any way, so that's fine. We could use Sentinel Automatons, honestly. They're not bad. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. We are going to have to bring some mages along, though. Yeah, they have 50 morale, so who cares? Someday, my friend, you'll be a beautiful shining star. But you got just quite a little bit going for you here. Hey, we got a free fort. That always helps. With a good amount of resources, so we could just build up a giant pack of gunslingers. Pretty badass. Look at how many I could get per turn. Fuck yeah. Let's see the automatons in action. We lost one automaton, but they got 25 kills, and wasn't even friendly fire, so that's all good. Alright. Well, we're doing better than Nazca is for now. That's good. I could overstep, but usually nothing good comes of it. He's not an amphibian. I guess it's a sandworm. Although it's not a sand, it's just a titanic worm-like being. It should definitely have amphibian on. It's bullshit. Ah, you're speaking my language. Yeah, money's getting... Money is staying tight, I suppose, not getting tight. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Oh, yeah. I'll be right back. Okay. He still has not taken much, so I'm gonna go ahead and take Deadlands. And, I would like to get in the water. We do have automatons that we can just take down underground into the water, and they'll be pretty solid options. But I don't have an automatically amphibious commander, of course. And they have to be able to lead magical creatures. So, we're going to need some form of a water mage. Which I think... Oh, God. Do I even have an option? No, I don't think I do. We have no water mage of any kind. It'll have to be an indie or something. Yeesh. Nope. Nope. No, it's the same thing. No, it's Death Nature. Death Nature. Adventurers. Nope. Adventurer, nope. We do not have the ability to get in the water. I have to summon a commander that can go in the water, which there probably is one here. No, it wasn't. It was definitely... No, that's not really a commander. I mean, there's definitely a commander in here. I guess we could look. Unit, property, amphibian? Is that the name of it? I don't know what it's called. Poor amphibian. Okay, let me just search poor amphibian as a baseline. That's not what the trait's called, though. Fuck. It's called... Oh, I see. It is called poor amphibian. Alright, let's go generic only summoned commanders. Well, yeah, there's a Mound King. That's pretty easy. Although he doesn't have magic leadership. No, we need specifically magic leadership of, like, a good amount. Although you probably can make an item to give to these guys. The Ivy King. So that's Conjuration 7. That's a little annoying. Okay. Needless to say, there's not many great options. Also, I'm looking at Dominions Enhanced. So there's some stuff in here that we don't get. Well, can we get an item that gives magic leadership? What does that even fall under? God. It's called Leader LDR-M is what we want. Okay. So the only things that give it in meaningful amounts is the Crown of Command. Requires 2 astral to make. So our Pretender at least can definitely make that. Actually, yeah, we can make that. So that's 50 leadership. That's probably our best bet. Yeah, that's definitely our best bet. So that's construction 5 we'd have to get to. It's going to be a bit. We still want alteration, mostly. Yeah, ethereal. So good. Melchior the Telepath. Oh yeah, we got big astral. Depth Researcher 6, Reduced Unrest 5, 4 Astral, 2 Glamour. Nice. Keep researching. Oh, we can go up into the mountain. Right, we have Mountain Survival. I gave it to him. Yes. Amazing. Do I want to take that from him? That's a little greedy, I think. No, that's not. Yeah, I'm going to cut down on recruitment a little bit. We're buddies. Your trees mean nothing to me. I am the Shy Halud. Yeah, we always try for the NAP. We have yet to play one of these games where they actually accept it. It makes sense. Why would they? But pisses me off he's not amphibious. And that I didn't give him air or water. Should have gone air for the mist form. It's fine, I guess. Damn it. Let's just assume that there's going to be a war in a moment, shall we? He accepted and then declared war, so we did get 3 turns out of it. Oh, but they killed my scout. Whoops. Yeah, I think I will cool it on mages for the moment. Except we need 1 mage under God to... Well, no, I need... Alright, fine. Alright, then fuck it, I'm taking this from him. He gave me a 3-turn window to go wild. And we bumped. That could be good, could be bad. I should have changed it. Body Ethereal should be first. That's the most important. I feel like we're going to pay dearly for that mistake. No, I didn't say anything significant. Okay. Body Ethereal, Temper Flesh, Personal Iron Skin. Perfect. Keep going. Yeah, let's get a second one. Alright. Ba 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 ba. Yes, 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 yes. Oh yeah, see it back here. Well, I guess we could do skirmish formation. Why not? Spread out the love. Yeah, I still don't really have any spells specifically in mind. Found a witch's bog. Got 1,600 gold for free. That's pretty juicy. Especially because we're going to want to PD stuff. Let's say 31 apiece. Just enough to make them think about it. Now remember, he can fly if he situates himself. And we're going to go on the offensive here. Also, we have 119 here, so let's get one of these gentlemen. Suddenly, an arrow appeared on the sky and struck Shai straight in the heart. That sounds painful. There was some fire in there. We lost 7 sentinels. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, there's Condor Warriors Sacreds. Curious what they got. Pretty simple stuff. Current hit point 251 out of a max 150. Yeah, Swallow's pretty nice. AoE 1 Swallow. I do some AoE 1 swallowing myself once in a while. It's not a good joke about anything. Fire closest, please, rifleman. My sort of backup defenses. Now that's a lot of dudes. Let's play it this way. Did get alteration 5, but invulnerability is not, it's not really that useful to him. No, it's just not worth the fatigue. Yeah, I mean, could I beat that fight? Maybe. I think he could beat it if he had Soul Vortex. But we'll see how the army does. I think we lost some commanders there. Yep, we lost a mercenary captain and a tech smith. 10 sentinel automatons. No regular ones, no grenadiers. But yeah, they're flying to the rear, and that is a problem. I need bodyguards. We can't really neglect that. Yeah, for now. Alright, we're still okay. Well, I mean, automaton guardians are good on this mage, but the best that these guys are going to get is fucking halfling grenadiers, which will pretty easily just like, well, they'll just die, really. The real problem is that when they land in the rear, we're immediately getting a bunch of fire slings thrown at my commanders. That's why I wanted them further forward. Honestly, I think we just stand here. Oh, we lost our prophet. Which is a bit of a bummer, but not that bad considering we're not using sacreds. I don't think that'll hold. We found a hidden gold mine. Beautiful. Swallow them all up, my friend. We lost another mercenary captain. Fucking hell. I might need to just make like 12 of them just to have spares. We lost 13 grenadiers, 12 sentinels. Ouch. That was tougher. The real problem is, like, how did they all die? The friendly fire from our grenadiers is probably significant. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Unfortunately, we're still a ways off from Alteration 6. I don't know how much more I can hold out here. We do have these guys, so we're going to try to take this before he can get in the water with his Mound Kings. That's a bad sign. That means we got routed. And then in that case, that means we die. Armor negating shock damage from the air elementals. Yeah, it's tough, man. Dominions is tough. Like, you can never... Everything is beatable. For better or for worse, you know? When you're fighting something that seems ridiculous, it's beatable. There is a counter. But that means that everything you have can be countered. And it's really tough to, like, prepare for everything, because there's no... I mean, he summoned those in battle. His... What... I don't know what summoned him, really. Something summoned him. Air elementals. And, yeah, just cuts straight through. We have no shock resist. We did. Great. And then a barbarian horde and Tesiphon, so we lost that to barbarians. And that's in our fucking cap circle. And I just built a temple there, so that's 600 gold and an opportunity cost. And the real problem is I have no priests. So we have to now just keep making soothsayers, just so I can eventually summon back our god. That's never gonna work. I gotta take a... Just nip that in the bud. Great. No, that's probably easy victory for him. Oh no, we got the rifleman there. That's right. Bounty hunters. Lost 9 more, but go screw yourself. Ooh, boy, it's gonna take a long time to get back, man. If we had a lab here, I could also make them here, but I just don't have the money. Perpetually cash starved on these 1v1s. Easy enough. As long as they don't land on the commander, it's easy. We're holding. We're in a holding pattern. We can get our profit again. Yeah, we're not really... They're not really a solo unit, unfortunately. Well, they are, just not against flyers. Not that many flyers. They will get crushed. And that's pretty dumb. Oh, and then we also lost Moose Bull because I don't have PD anywhere. We're holding for now, but it's pretty delicate. I really have to make units. At least some. A message from Nazca for attacking PD. What the fuck are you thinking? His god died. What? What are you doing, bro? 4 protection, 88 hit points. You out of your mind? Oh, shit. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty darn good. Skirmish automatons. Ba-da-ba. That's fine. Okay, we're rebounding. All right, we're gonna have alteration 6. That's good. Construction 5 does get us in the water. With well, no, because we need to be able to summon a Mound King. So that's something. What is that? 3? 2? 3? What the hell is the Mound King? Enchantment 2? Revive King? Yeah. Enchantment 2 gets us Mound King, and then Construction 5 gives us him the helmet so he can lead 50 automatons into the water. It's convoluted, I'm aware. This is a really shit show situation. Otherwise, We already have this, so we can start making like Agar's Abomination if we want. Although 2 nature, 2 earth, I don't know. Construction 6 gives us the mechanical dreadnought, which would be pretty nice. I imagine. Conjuration 6 gives us sandworms, which is pretty cool. What did we give our guy? Shit. He's got Astral Death Earth. And then our mage situation, if I were to actually use mages, probably the biggest thing we want is just like more armor. So yeah, probably construction is what I should go down. We'll keep it simple. Popped my commander as always. It's like the biggest thing flying nations have going for them. If they just happen to land on the commander, they win. Crazy. They have 200 PD, but as long as it lands on the commander. I'm holding this. He's throwing himself against it quite a bit. And we're going to put quite a bit of PD here and quite a bit of PD here. Keep him contained. That's mostly what I care about. And eventually, life will be better. That is quite a lot. And they killed the commander, of course. He's gonna take territory. Literally, I could have 100 PD. There's still one commander. And if he dies, he dies. And that's it. That was my profit, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was my prophet. He just assassinated with an arrow. Dang. That really blows. Yeah. That's not great. That's not great at all. You don't usually expect the AI to do shit like that. Fucking Dominion. The AI and their Dominion. It's like the paperclip problem, but Dominion. They just maximize it. They do everything they can to maximize it. Benedutenshire. We lost Remesia. We lost Ctesiphon. Yeah, there's an argument to be made about not taking Misfortune 1. There's also an argument to be made to just fucking remember to put PD in different places. I think for my own monetary purposes, we gotta take this shit back. No, I'm gonna have the Pretender do it once he comes out. We gotta reinforce. Maybe destroy some more temples. Yeah, it's fine. We'll be fine. Probably. It's gonna hit this every single turn, pretty much till the end of the game. Unless something changes. Yeah, I don't really want to spend gems. I kind of want to site search, but we still need a lot of research, and our research is abysmal. Let's get back to getting tech smiths for now. Okay, we can get a profit back. Igalima came back. All is well. All is mostly well. We can't get shock resist. I don't know how likely it is for that problem to arise again. We could script him to cast shock protection. But we want Soul Vortex, Body Ethereal, Temper Flesh, Personal Iron Skin. Lightning Resist. Cure, if you have time. I don't really want to make an old man my profit, so we'll hold off on that note. I probably could have built a fort in Bethane by this point. I almost certainly could have. That's a lot of regen. Because he keeps swallowing. Oh my god, 592 current hit points. Keeps going up and up. Yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with. Oh, and yeah, we lost Fostier to a lumber construct. Sam the Tinker. Sam, why don't you have fucking air water magic? Do you ever think of that? You, my friend, are going to become America's next top prophet. Okay. That was a battle and a half. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, they cannot chew for 543 hit points, 572 hit points, 592 hit points with 24 protection, which isn't that high or anything, but when you have that amount of hit points, and he's regenning constantly, it's a little rough. We are building up to a catastrophic battle here. Yeah, we're all in. You're dead. Instantly swallowed. Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to, tempted to just start throwing him on all these things, but his health is going to be a lot lower over there. Oh, God. It's gonna be insane. Get swallowed, son. Why does this keep happening? No, not Lydia. That would have been dumb. It's getting pretty ridiculous. Yeah, great. Stop killing my shit, please. I'm surprised he hasn't gone in the water yet. He's clearly got skeletons of some kind. All right. The worm is gonna start doing a number on all these packs he's got. It's risky, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, it's quite risky. He doesn't have that much health out here. It might be safer to go here first. Okay, we'll do it that way. Sam probably could roll out. Sure. Oh, research. So yeah, we're gonna get enchantment. Well, enchantment 2 at least. To get that Mound King. We can now make a mechanical dreadnought if we have 3 earth, 1 astral. I guess I could go down to Sandworm, but we want to see the dreadnought first to see if it's, like, good. Otherwise, our pretender can summon this thing, which is probably pretty good. I'm gonna do that. So we have to have 3 earth, 1 astral. No one has that without earth boots, so have someone make earth boots. I didn't PD anything. It wasn't really about taking, it was about clearing it. Eye of the Void. +2 penetration, -2 MR, Spirit Sight, Tainted. Yeesh. Mechanical Dreadnought. My halfling soothsayer died instantly. What the fuck? He's slow, but he gets the job done, you know? He gets the darn job done. Here it is, the Mechanical Dreadnought. 80 hit points, size 7 Trampler with 20 protection, 10 defense, 16 MR, 15 morale. It's got Pierce Resist, Poor Amphibian, and never heals. Also, it's clumsy, which is completely pointless unless for somehow you make him into a commander. Yeah, I don't know. So he's got a 13 attack, 22 damage fist attack, and Cone of Flames, range 9, 10 precision, 18 armor piercing beam. Also used in melee. Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but you get 1 for 9 earth gems. And it never heals. Is it a magic? Okay, it is. So it heals at labs. Is it good? I don't know. The comparison would be to, like, well, the sandworm or just, like, ball bears or something, which are pretty nice. Hard to say. I think we probably should consider just going to Marble Army. But we'd have to go to Construction 7 to get the Crucible of Stone for 4 Earth Gems, since we don't have blood. And you're talking about quite a lot of research at our current stage. Nice to actually have PD work here. Yeah, my guy dragged his soul vortex through the whole army, unfortunately. We lost 8 automatons, 10 grenadiers, 12 sentinels. But he lost a hell of a lot more than that. We lost a temple in Behemoth's Rest. Wait, what? Where the hell is Behemoth's Rest? Oh, here. Sure. 130 round battle. That's worrisome. Oh, against undead, of course. Quit summoning undead, asshole. Jesus Christ. That was a lot of skeletons I had to chew through. Literally. And a necromancer. And 125 long dead. We lost Larian Swamps and Wick. This is fucking stupid. We can't hold on to a province to save our life. The independents are a bigger threat to me than the actual enemy in our 1v1. Right. Remember money? Okay. Yeah, money's cool and all. Alright, let's just go up to Alteration 8 and Construction 7. Maybe we'll get there before the end. You never know. Good. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I mean, just nothing for it, really. Oh, thank God we defended. And that was nothing. And then Pulmania, which we win, apparently. Because most of his shit's inside. Which makes me mostly want to just sit there until he comes out to play. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here. We got this. Okay, 2 big battles here. Oh God, he's got his Pretender too. Fucking Christ, these air elementals! 6 armor negating damage. Fuck. He pulls him out right when he needs to fucking kill my Pretender. Yep, Air Element, 9 points of damage. Black Hawk hit me for 5. Thunder Fist for 7 points of damage. Air Elemental for 9. Air Elemental for 5. And I'm not swallowing... Here, Air Elemental for 17! And I can't make a Shock Ring because we don't have any air mages. Fuck. We're holding the line. Our Dominion does seem to be winning. Yeah, we're doing well on Dominion now, so that's good. We could just have gotten in the water at any point. It really bothers me this Pretender does not have poor amphibian on it. Or full it really should have full amphibian, but beggars can't be choosers. Message from Nazca. We like messages from Nazca. My favorite person to get messages from. Right now. Lost another 18 Grenadiers. 6 Sentinels. But, yeah, he lost his god again. And a bunch of other stuff. Sacred Condors. He lost all 24 of them. What was his blast? Do we... Charge body. Yeah, okay. And we're susceptible to shock on our automaton, so that's a little annoying. What are you gonna do? Switch it up? What else am I gonna use? Fucking Coatls? Get out of here. I guess Soldiers of Fortune. Not a bad option. But the automatons are pretty good. I kind of hate to nix them. But it would allow for a more human... Like, my normal commanders can lead them. Yep. Ooh, we actually have Dominion here now. Very nice, even without a temple. Speaking of which, go build a temple here. Unlikely. Yeah, very easy to airdrop. Not surprising. Takes forever to get this asshole back. There he is. Thank you. Now, is there anything we could provide for you that you would appreciate? Girdle of Might? That could be something. That's sort of it. You know, like, nothing is going to give shock resist, you know. And MR does not affect this at all. I guess a Girdle of Might is like, yeah, thanks, cool, I suppose. You know, what's funny is I could have just made a golem, like, at any point. Although, 3 astral, 2 earth... Well, no, but if I had made a point of meteoric iron, they could make a golem, and he could have just taken all these provinces. True. You got a good point. But while you're here, I suppose, get me one of these kings. And give him a crown of command. And then we may as well give you a fucking Girdle of Might and Bracers of Protection. Maybe I should give you the Burning Pearl instead. Mechanical men are pretty good. Fuck it, just start getting them. We have a lot of death gems, no death mages. We have a 10% chance to get a death. I don't know why we have so much death income, but we do. And then there's also fire shit. Yeah, there's things, but we're probably okay. He put up Eyes of God. Okay, that's fine. Now you're here, you get this, and I have 50 magic leadership. And you can take automatons and mechanical men underwater. In a line, even. Get down there. Now, what we can't do in the water, however, then, is build a temple, because he's not a priest. So, we really have no option there. Yeah, there's just... What do you want from me, man? There's just no option. If there is, I'm not aware of it. In the base game. I'm sure with Dominions Enhanced, there would be something. But here, it's all water or air. That's the two fields that do it. Not even Cthulhu's staff, which you can make with Astral, gives you water breathing. I guess I could check the... Let me check this real quick. Which is, what's the name? Water breathing. Or gift of water breathing, either way. There is the Amulet of Ruby and Sapphire, which gives 10 fire, 10 cold resist, and water breathing. Requires 1 fire, 1 water. Oh, wait. Still water. Oh, also, yeah, I'm looking at Dominions Enhanced, so a lot of this is not going to be correct. Yeah, because it, like, adds lungweed as a miscellaneous item to nature to make. It adds a lot more options. Specifically to fix shit like this, you know? It's because it's annoying. Let me just get in the damn water. Yeah, no option. Yeah, so we're not going to get temples down there, but I can clear it at least for the income. You, my friend, get these 2 things. I was going to apparently... Oh, yeah, I was going to make golems just for fun, I guess. Three astral, 2 earth. No, the other way around. I don't know why. Oh, I think the guy I gave earth boots to died of old age. Yeah, honestly, like, I could just make mechanical dreadnoughts, but mechanical men are pretty good too. Okay. We're gonna send you back in. I mean, you're gonna keep doing what you do. We're gonna keep hoping for Alteration 8. There's a battle in Muspel. Yeah, of course. We got Agar's monsters. 35 hit points, size 6, 10 protection, 11 defense, 16 MR, 16 morale, flyers with a beak and paralyzing talons. Honestly, pretty good, except for no fire resist, which makes them a bit of a vulnerability. But considering that they are 3 for 4, we have a bunch of nature gems, go ahead. Keep making them. Let's see how the Mound King does. All this effort. Huzzah. Took a water province. Exciting stuff. Yeah. Temple is destroyed in Wick. Those aren't cheap, asshole. Alright, where don't we have... Okay, let's get frickin'... Let's get PD on everything. Just like the bare minimum of 16. Yep. I can't remember the last time I made a Mound King to lead troops underwater. That's like an eternity. We're very slowly wiping him out of Dominion. So we will, at this rate, eventually win. Honestly, go ahead and build a lab here. We might be able to fuck with him in some way. Okay, just getting astral pearls. Good. He attacked us in Dershid with more than a significant enough force. It's annoying. Oh, look at you in the water, huh? So yeah, I mean, here we could just start making some stuff. If I had 3 fire, we could make iron griffins. Which are pretty nasty. I can't make... I don't have enough earth gems to make more mechanical men here. So yeah, I'd have to get... Flame helmet is too much. We'd have to go to construction 7, which we are going anyways, but there's not much... Oh, wait a minute, he has 3 fire. Never mind. Make iron griffins here, then. Ooh. Yeah. Good. Yeah, we have 437 units here. We probably should mobilize. He'll probably take that. Probably thinks he's clever. Yeah, it's a lot of halflings. He has a lot of shit in general. Yeah, not a big surprise. That back. It's alright. It's in our favor. And then he attacked Bakar again, which I just left with a very low amount of PD. But if we keep trading, it's really not the end of the world. All right, that's a pretty solid army, I think. And then we've got some mechanical men, and we've got some of these, and we've got some of these. Pretty solid. Let's mobilize. Yep. There you go. There you go. There you go. Battling Dershid. Yep. Pretty simple as long as there's not any air elementals. And then Omer. Yeah. A car. He built this? And I breached it immediately? Okay. I'll take that to the bank. He's also about to get Dom killed, so... pretty good. Undead and terracotta. He is a clever bitch, isn't he? Still gonna swallow all y'all. Yep. And then the Fortress of Bakar. Oh, thanks for the free fortress, bro. Yeah, I appreciate it. Mound King has done well for himself. Needless to say. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be great or anything. Beat him up, 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 beat him up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything that I could put on that would be more AoE-ish? Not really, no. Because I haven't gone down enchantment enough, which is where that stuff usually is. Soul Vortex is usually all you need unless it's undead inanimates, which it is. So in this case, we got nothing. Actually, I don't know what else I would get with this stuff specifically. We need, like, I don't know. No, there's really little options, to be honest. Oh, well. He'll be fine. I could set him on cast spells instead of attack, but the Swallow is really good for his health pool. So I'm not inclined to do that. Oh, God. Oh, and a worm. Oh, God. I think that's the end. What's crazy? Fucking Tiamat the worm there. And like 20 sea serpents with Furor. Although that didn't really matter. But still. AoE1 tail sweeps. Oh, well. Mountain King, you did your job. No one can begrudge you for what you've done. That's a pretty big army. He lost 400, I lost 113, including 4 mercenary captains. Gone in the blink of an eye. Christ. 15 of Agar's monsters. I don't know if I scripted any of that stuff. No, I definitely didn't script anything. And then Anasia. Wow, that is an army. Temper Flesh, excellent. There you go, he got his buffs off. As long as there's a steady pool of living targets in the area. That number is dwindling. He still had 314 hit points and 6 fatigue, but he did pick up weaken and chest wound. But that's not that big of a deal. That's a big deal. Yeah. Just too many, and there were too many undead that he wasn't clearing. He just has no AoE outside of Soul Vortex. I wasn't counting on an enemy having this much undead. He had, yeah, 68 Nazcan long deads, 18 regular long deads, 15 shades. Those aren't... It's 12 Mound Kings. He just cranks them out for fun. 54 Terracotta Soldiers. Yeah, it's just too much. But despite that, I feel like we basically have won. Basically have won. I don't know what to do with all these guys. Oh, it's crowded, baby. Yeah, I had these guys sitting all the way in the back unscripted, so no wonder we lost a bunch of them. But we're about to get Alteration 8, and that means that we can cast Marble Army. Assuming we get some Earth Boots. But yeah, he's in a pretty rough spot. We got a lot of Dominion. But he did just take Dershid, which is really obnoxious. Because I forgot to put any PD there. Also, we're starving a little bit. So get some endless bags of wine, please. Could have sworn I had a guy with 3 earth, but no, I just have 3 fire, and I actually can't get 3 earth. But we can if we make this. Marble Army. Can't cast without Conjuration 3 as well. But we'll get there. Oh, never mind. Okay, the final battle then. There it be. Yep. 36 Grenadiers lost their lives, an Automaton, 4 Sentinels, 17 Soldiers of 400. We had 515 Halfling Grenadiers in the end. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Alright, our Pretender was alright. He did some work. I really wish he had Amphibian. It was mostly just like... I shouldn't have given him Death. I should have given him Nature, probably, for just regen. But, you know, Soul Vortex is really good. Unless you're up against, like, a heavy nation that uses undead or other inanimates and stuff. We just don't know, because we don't pick the nation before. It's just random. That's this part of the surprise. But yeah, if the only thing I'm getting death for is specifically Soul Vortex, it's hard to say. His problem was AoE clear. Outside of that, I don't know if Nature would have really helped, though. I mean, it was an unfortunate situation, because if I just had, like, one Air Mage, and I could have made a Dancing Trident, that would have solved... I think he would have died maybe half as often. If, you know, maybe less often than that. I don't know. Having any amount of air anywhere would have helped us a lot. But it was a funny strat. It was a funny game, because we just sat on Betaine and never left, ever. And he just could not take us off. I think he easily could have, though, if he just was like, wait a minute, I have 1,300 units here, what am I doing? And he just launched everything. But the AI is odd. And so that strat worked. And we just sat here and slowly built our temples up and crowded him out, and that was it. Funny game. Alright, as for Terra Nova, interesting. I mean, it's a rather unique nation, I think. The Soldier of Fortune is... I think it punches, I think, slightly above weight for the cost. 10 protection, 10 hit points is not great, but you got 14 defense with a parry, 4 shield, so a lot of attacks are going through 26 protection. 12 attack, 16 damage broadsword is a solid infantry option. They're not amazing, but honestly, like I said, for the cost, it's pretty solid. The Halfling Grenadier, though, having Because we looked at the halfling first, and we're like, oh yeah, we have slingers, we're going to have fire mages. Like, that's an okay combo. But having just straight up fire slings, no casts required, and they all have it, it's quite good. Like, yeah, they don't have great precision, they don't have great range, but they shred. When you have hundreds of them, they shred. The Coatl, pretty shit, and your Sacred being a Coatl as well is just... It's alright. Like, we could have made it work, but we would have had to have given up a Pretender, essentially. Like, we would have had to given up an Awake Expander. We didn't have an Awake, but, you know, we would have had to go for, like, Imprisoned, or we'd have to tank Scales quite a bit, or like, we would have had to given up some stuff to make these worth recruiting. Because I think without a strong Bless, these things would just die in droves. And I'm not even sure if Regen Blood Bond would have saved it, really. Because Regen 10% means they're recovering 2 hit points a round. Blood Bond means they're sharing half the damage they take. But say you take 16, you know, a 16 damage broadsword is being swung. On average, you're going to take like 11 on average. So you take, say, 6 and 5 gets shared. It then takes you 3 rounds to recover from that hit. And you're getting hit every turn from everything because you only have 6 defense to start with. So in that case, you could survive probably like 3 or 4 hits, maybe. But keep in mind, everything else is getting hit and sharing. So you're sharing your damage, but you're also probably taking a lot of shared damage as well. So 7 protection, 6 defense. It's just too low, and it's really tricky to patch this up with blesses. Hard Skin gives it up to 12, which helps for sure, but it's expensive. Fortitude gives you resistances, but that alone is not going to help you. You need something else there to kind of patch. So, yeah, it's just tricky. We could have gone for Ethereal because it's kind of a catch-all of just like, yeah, it works. But Ethereal is very expensive. You have to go very high in Astral. No monster or even Titan really is going to get Ethereal. You pretty much need like a dedicated like statue or something to it. And going high Astral is not that amazing for a monster or a Titan, even if they did want to go for it. So it's really a tricky thing. So I'm not impressed with the Winged Serpents. Surprisingly, yeah, we didn't go with the Gunslingers or the Bounty Hunters much. I mean, we had a little Bounty Hunters, but in comparison to the Halfling Grenadier, in as far as like the cost, efficiency, and the damage that they can produce in mass compared to the Bounty Hunter, which is nearly 5 times more resources, 6 more gold. You get actually 8 less range. I mean, in what fucking universe does a rifle have like 25% less range than a sling? It's insane. If this had been range 50, I think I would have said like, all right, let's do it. Like, let's go Scales. Let's get just insane amount of Bounty Hunters. And they will shred. They will delete the enemy army. Because that's, 17 armor piercing is very high. But they don't. And you could say, well, that's a balance mechanic. It is. But it just made them not very viable. Because 22 range with 8 shots, they're not going to get that off before you get into melee. And in melee, they're garbage. They're going to get shredded, as we saw. And that also means it's really tricky to maneuver them with frontliners, because you're not going to have a frontliner that really holds up against 17 armor piercing. So you're either dealing with friendly fire or getting your own guys shredded. And it's just not a good proposition. Whereas 30 range allows us to sort of mitigate that. And our guys, our automatons having 15 fire resist means that was a very good combo. As we saw, it worked. The Sentinels are pretty solid. They died, yeah, but they also have fire explosion, and they did all right. So, yeah, I think it's a fine nation, but it's not one that I'm like, oh, I got to try this again. I want to play it again because there's so many different other options. Like, no, I feel like I did the only real option, basically. The only thing I could have switched up was making more Soldiers of Fortune, but they don't perform as well under the heavy fire damage of our Grenadiers. So, yeah, we did really the only good thing, and it worked. So, there's that. For now, though, my name is Mangg. Game watching has been Dominion 6. I'll see you fine folks next time.